America's Card Room is the largest U.S.-facing poker site. For the latest deposit bonus, click the link in the description. And to watch poker live and grow your game, check out twitch.tv/PokerPastor and subscribe to this channel.
Taking it to your home game and crushing people?
Yeah, well, right, yeah. All right, so we get the tens.
Yep, tens.
BG says preach.
So we get a min raise from Plo ha 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 ha. Yep. He opens. I don't have a lot of hands on him, so this is not going to be that particularly interesting. But he opens, so I'm 3-betting out of position. 3.1x. It looks like.
I like it.
And he just folds.
Cool.
That works. This is just a shove, I think. So I'm. What am I going to do? Am I going to ISO here, or am I going to just call? I think I'm probably going to. So Ace King is one of those hands that plays better multi-way than a pocket pair, but I'm probably going to ISO here. I'm probably going to raise ISO just to play heads up. Yep, and then click back raise ISO.
With how nitty the small blind's big, I mean, a click raise and a jam are almost the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that small blind play a hand yet. The guy on your left.
True.
His stats say he plays. We just haven't seen it. So we had a nice pot there.
Yeah. Okay, so King Queen. This is from the cutoff is definitely something I want to play.
Ooh, how do we get the echo? You're echoing a little bit. That was kind of cool.
Echo. Hello. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
It's gone. It's gone now. You just had like this little brief of like.
I did. You know? I did that vocally. That was all.
Oh, nice.
I'm kidding.
Practicing for your Dean Martin solo. I get it.
Yes. I did my Dean Martin solo already. That night, I looked up the Dean Martin song. I know it doesn't count. I'm just saying I did it.
Well, it's good. That's good. You represented your era well.
Yeah. Look, Justin Bieber.
Oh, that's how we're gonna go, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Child.
I wish I had his abs.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a lot that comes along with those abs. There's
no comment.
Yeah.
I like the raise sizing. Please don't fold here.
I don't think I'm gonna fold. I mean, this is a click back 3-bet.
Yeah.
This is such a small 3-bet.
The worst.
I'm so afraid. I got to tell you, I'm so afraid to click this button right now. I'm petrified to click this button.
I've been there with Drew so many times. He's like, "What do you think you did?" I'm like, "I don't want to know. Can we just end the coaching session now? I don't want to click it."
Oh, let's find out. We did flat. Thank God.
Good.
Ooh, he checks to me.
Okay.
I'm probably going to check back, but I like the idea of a bet here. I really like the idea of a bet here.
Okay, so let me ask you this: if you bet the flop here, I'm not against a bet at all. But if you bet the flop here, what turn cards are you double barreling? So this is almost like the suited connector exercise. We're not suited, but this is kind of the same thought process. What cards are you betting on the turn if you bet this flop?
Any ace, any king, any queen.
Okay.
Probably 7 and 8, maybe 9. 7, 8, 9, 10 because they're disconnected. But not any spade. I will not double barrel the spade.
Okay, why 7 and 8 out of curiosity?
3, 4, 5. Okay, so 5, 6, 7. So 8, yes, because 8 is disconnected from anything. It doesn't make any draws, right? 8 doesn't. 7 does, but 8 doesn't. So it's like a total brick. It doesn't bring any draws in.
Gotcha. So like I think ace, any king, any queen, any 10, and I would throw any jack in. maybe.
Well, so the problem with any jack is like if he's gonna flat with like nines, he's gonna be more confident to flat when a second jack peels, right?
Well, it
because
depends on
it's
what you do
less
on the river.
likely.
Depends on
True.
what you do in river. If you're gonna rip river, then no. Like that's where you have to take it one more street and go like you're like, all right, betting the flop with a jack, betting the paired board and the turn with the jack. We know 9s, 8, 7, 6 are gonna call us, so we're gonna have to peel one more on the river to get there. And you could probably size this up to where you'd have a perfect river jam, right? So like there's ways to get there and make that happen. But let's just even if it's 3 aces, 2 kings, 2 queens, 3 tens, that's 6, 8, 10, 10 outs, right? So now we're getting the fold equity on the flop, and we're getting at least 20% equity on the turn to double barrel.
Okay, so double barrel equity, king queen versus jack 3 4 flop. I'm just writing a note down so that I remember to look back at this comment, or I will rewatch this whole thing, and
Sure.
I'm okay. So yeah, there's a lot of cards that can come on the turn that I can 3-bet or I can double barrel because they improve my equity as well as improve my image, right? They hit my range.
Exactly. And so that and I think a 9, because the 9 gives you the gutter ball plus the king queen, right?
Uh-huh.
So I think you could throw a 9 in the mix. So that's 13 cards. So now we're looking at like 26% equity. Like 26% of the cards on the turn are going to give you a double barrel spot.
Right.
And then like you could also throw in cards like 3s and 4s, right? Like he shouldn't have any 3s or 4s in his range here. So when a 3 or a 4 hits, like the board strengthens, like any equity and any draws he has weakens. So like it just depends on how crazy you want to get with your double barreling range. But like even on the conservative side, right? Like 20 to 25% of turn cards you're going to be able to double barrel. And in general, like we should be like 60 to 70% c betting, 30% turn barreling, and then like, actually no, 30 is probably low, probably closer to 40, 45% turn. As long as our c bet range is constructed properly. So like this is a good spot, right? Like I like the bet if you do that. Now if you're betting here and you're checking any turn that's not a king or a queen, then I hate it.
Yeah. But I actually don't think I'm going to bet here. I think what's going to happen is I'm going to check back because he checked when he had the initiative. Right. So that's pretty polarizing. That's going to be he's either smashed this flop and hoping to get me to barrel into him, or he's got air, right? So I think I probably checked back, but let's see what happens. Yeah, I did check back.
I mean, I'm definitely checking back here against a bigger 3-bet. Like when he clicks it back though, like I just don't give him a lot of credit for his hand, I guess.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Fishing Lake with the follow. Fishing Lake with the follow, and he binks my slot machine. I got to add some points.
So hey, Fishing Lake, make sure you put exclamation store in chat, and you will see like lots of cool things like singing country music and doing geek raps. And then once you decide what you like in his store, head over to my store and my stream, and you can actually buy geek bits at a discount, and you can get them for 800 on the 1,000, and then you can get even more epic raps and country music songs, and that goes for anybody listening on either stream. If you want to get geek bits at a discount, just take the points you've been saving up in my store and get a 1-to-1 conversion.
Look at my face.
How long do I have to do this for? And he takes the lead in game 7. It's only the first half.
You just have so many bits you have so many of my points, of my stream points,
that I can sell them. Yes,
that you can sell them. It's sick. It's
awesome. Well, I did go on that run where I binked like 7 times in a row on slots.
I know. I'm like, oh, come on, really? What in the world is going on
He's
here?
like, I gotta play some poker. Poster packer. Now I'm killing Bird.
There you go.
He called me that the other night.
Poster packer.
I went in his stream and he was like, he was killing Bird. He was drunk. He's like, hey, poster packer, how's it going? He's my friend.
KV. So like we do have the official Killing Bird shot glass, which does occasionally get filled on my stream.
Is that the miniature version?
The miniature version? No, this is a full shot glass, full size shot glass.
I figured his was more like a pail. It came bucket
yeah.
sized.
Okay, so let's go back to this hand. A five of spades gets there, making a whole bunch of draws, and he bets. I predict we are going to fold.
Okay.
Yep, we did fold.
And that's fine. I mean, there's not really like a lot that you're going to be hoping for in the river there, right?
Yeah. Okay, thank goodness.
BG says KB drinks. Like,
yeah. Did you not know?
Is that a troll?
Okay. Every so often I have to look at a hand and go through and make sure, please, dear God, let me have folded this. Please. Okay, so this is a button.
What's up, table grinders?
Fold. Oh, Count Joe says he dances too. KB dances too.
He does dance, yes.
Ooh.
March is going to be so much fun, dude. I can't wait.
Oh man,
can't wait.
Oh, it was fun last year.
Are you guys still going to be doing the steps challenge by then?
No, okay. No. We will be done end of January, basically.
Gotcha.
I had to do 16,000 steps yesterday in order to get sort of back in the lead or in it ahead of the game, right. Because it doesn't matter how many. Like it doesn't matter who gets the most steps. All that matters is if you get 300,000, right?
Got you. So Table Grinders is asking what's in March. Go ahead, finish your story. Sorry.
Oh, so
I cut you off.
Yeah, no. So like that's all that matters. So I was prior to yesterday, I was down 2,000 steps on for the pace, and so I had to like catch back up. So I had some more to to play with,
even out
little margin.
So Table Grinders in March, me and Geek are going to be heading to North Carolina to do some like crazy streamathons with Killing Bird. So
yeah, and I did this last year, and I mean so like the very first night I got there, I drove 6 hours from my house, and Table Grinders with the follow. Does he bank? Ooh, running bad, Table Grinders. He did not get the bank, but
he totally rigs the slots, man. Like
the slots are rigged. They're confirmed rigged. Absolutely confirmed.
They only hit hot on days the Packers win. So like you have no shot of winning. So just
yeah. Let's go with that. But like so like when I got there, like I regged a tournament. I set up all my stuff, and I turned on the stream and regged a tournament. And I had just gotten done driving 6 hours, so I was pretty tired, and ended up winning the tournament at 5:45 in the morning.
Oh.
So that was day one, and then
nice.
I slept for like 3 hours, got up, ate some breakfast, turned on the stream, and played poker. And that was basically what we did the whole time. Is like, okay, we got to figure out some way to drink, play poker, and eat. And that was pretty much it. And it was so much fun.
A lot of pizza.
So much fun. No, we went to some of the places around there. There's some really, really nice breweries around there, and nice. KB is a huge beer nut.
Oh yeah.
So
a savant.
Yeah, he is a savant. He's his recommendations are strong. So it was.
The seafood game is really strong out there too, right? Like the boats that go out at like 6 in the morning.
Oh yeah. Are you a seafood guy?
Oh my gosh.
Killing Bird says, "Did I hear Killing Bird's in chat? We are talking about you, KV." He said, "Did I hear something about beer?" Why, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be a good time, and obviously you'll get a lot of content from all three of us during that week, and I'm sure we'll do some promos and stuff too. I've talked to Brett a little bit. I think there's going to be some Stormers things going around that vid, so maybe we'll do some special giveaways.
With the 7-month subscription grind. Thank you for the sub, KB.
Humble brag in this thread.
And I just gotta say, well, that was. I mean, I gotta announce it, right?
Oh no, yeah, absolutely. You gotta respect that.
I have to say that he took a real big bite out of your bit boss.
Yes, because you won't shut that off. What did I tell you? It's like, hey, spend 500 bits, you get 500 points. You sub, it's like $4,000 in like bit action. Everything over there is rigged against me. Seriously.
Hold on a minute. Wait a second. Exclamation bits, PokerPastor. You have 50,468 bits. You can play Conway Twitty from here till perdition.
Wait a minute.
And things are rigged against you?
Oh, hold on a second. Wait, what?
You can play Conway Twitty from here till perdition. Oh, here it comes. Oh.
Hold on a second. Wait, what?
Here it comes.
What did you say? I have how many bits? Let me take
50,000. Oh, no.
What does this click do?
Oh.
Hold on a second. Let's pull this up here. We've got the store.
No.
We're going to need intermission here in a minute. I'll just let this stew. So Geek doesn't know this, but like every stream, so I've been doing this for a month. Go back and watch the VODs. Every stream, I come into a stream 30 minutes into the stream, and I click the store thing. I put the store thing in chat, and every time he goes, oh no, PokerPastor's going to the store. And then I just leave it for an hour. So it totally messes with his head.
I have noticed you do that. I have noticed. I'm like, he brought the store thing up and didn't do anything.
Every time, because the fear of war is always worse than war, right? Like just the panicked uncomfortableness. So I do it to him every single stream, man. It's glorious. Of course, now I can't do it anymore. Cat's out of the bag. But so I'm just gonna leave this up here, Geek. I'm just gonna kind of peruse some of the items that you have here in your store, and we'll see what happens. Maybe in a little bit we'll. BG, you could buy all the bits? Interesting.
Interesting indeed.
So what are we doing with the aces here? Wildsell says you need to fold them.
I'm going to say snap fold. I mean, right?
I mean, 148,000 hands on yourself. That's a lot of poker.
That is a lot of poker. 148,000 hands. So let's look at my stats. It takes a little while for...
Oh, yeah. I bet. If I tried to open that up in mine, the entire stream would just crash right now. That'd be it.
Waiting. Come on.
So let's see. Giveaway contest. Greek does a Capri rap. Sing along with Geek. And some of your items are a little shady, too, because we get the, you can make suggestions for a song, but you get to veto them. What's the point of making a suggestion if you're going to veto it?
Well, so if I'm going to sing along, I have to know the song.
Why?
Right? Because I don't know the song. How can I sing along to a song I don't know?
How many videos are there on YouTube of people trying to sing karaoke to songs they don't know the words to? And they're like, pizza's really good. And you do it half the time anyway.
You know what? Well, that's true. That's true. Even the songs I do know. That's true. Okay, so I gave up on the database ever coming back with my stats.
That's fine. So, let's rock these aces. Let's do the big
we do raise. We do raise. And we get 3-bet. We get 3-bet. And he's 3-bet half his stack. I think this is just a snap. This is just a shove, right?
Yeah, he's never folding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what a flop.
But no kidding. Yeah. Nice. Fortunately, I knew what he had, so that didn't turn out too bad.
That guy clearly woke up and ate broccoli.
9-5 I didn't play. King Queen I will play, though.
Do you play it here?
And
I'm wondering what happens. Let's see what you do here.
So calls King 10 versus shove and ISO and is worst in best out FML. Opens 10.
Classic note taking there.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Geek will have his note taking course live on stream, no delay, where you can learn how to take effective notes.
Yeah. Opens 10-9 off from button, then C-bet shove second pair.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I hate to derail this. What was the acronym that you picked up yesterday in that tournament? The B-Towel or whatever? Yeah, the
B-Towel, yeah. That was back that ass up is what that was.
How did know that?
I didn't know that. Did you not see the link that I put in?
No.
I put a link in chat. It's one of my favorite websites.
Urban
it's called
Dictionary?
It's called Let Me Google That For You. And so all I did, so you go to Let Me Google That For You and you type in the query, and then it brings up a flash animation that says, let me Google that for you. Step 1, pull up Google. Step 2, type in your query.
That is the geek answer I would expect. Okay.
Oh, it is.
That makes infinitely more reason, because I'm just sitting there on stream. I don't know what's going on with the Vikings game. Everybody's freaking out about it. Nobody will tell me. And all of a sudden, like, Geek's like, oh, that means back that A up. And I'm like, of all the people in my stream I'd expect to know that, like, no offense, but, like, I just wouldn't expect you to know, like, 'cause I didn't know it. Like, what? Where did, like, were you listening to some weird song? Like, is it the name of a Wolfpack song? Like, is that like the name of their album? Like,
no, I just Googled it, man. We're streaming, right? You're streaming. I'm watching you stream, which means I have access to the internet.
Fair enough.
This unbelievable wealth of information, right?
So tomorrow's note-taking stream on Geek Stream, you can learn about FML and BTOW and Sob.
Yeah, exactly. We'll do a note review, a note history review.
Note history review. I like it. All right, so let's see what you do here in the big blind.
So I've got this guy as nuts. I've tagged him as purple, although his stats don't seem to suggest it. He's just a small sample size, but he's a little aggressive, like in his raising.
Yeah.
So I could see myself 3-betting here, although I would probably have looked at his folded 3-bet 25% and said, nope, I'm not 3-betting this. I'm just going to call. And that is what I do.
Okay. So
and I bank.
Woo! 1dullgeek banks. I've been trying to ignore sample sizes below like 300 to 400 hands, and it's had a positive impact. So I would definitely try to stay away from the like 8,700, 125. I know that in these types of fields, that's going to be like 90% of the field, but it's definitely helped me.
The issue for me though, like the notes, I took some notes on this guy.
Yeah. That factors in for sure. Yeah.
So check. I'm expecting him to c-bet, and he does. I'm probably going to check raise here. I just check shove and that's because of his stack size. Call. 10-9. Yeah.
This is where Geek's like, this always happens to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not much you can do about that. I mean,
but I liked the way I played it. I liked the fact that I knew.
You had a good read on him, and you played it. Perfectly.
Yeah. I like the fact that exactly right.
Geek, you lost the minimum.
I don't see how doubling a guy up is ever losing the minimum. I don't understand that.
Well, you could have folded pre-flop, I guess. That was the only option. I mean, as played, you lost the minimum, man.
Bowling Guru said that's why you play 10-9 suited. Okay.
Oh, geez, here we go.
But PJ, are you seriously calling a check shove with second pair in that spot? I mean, are you calling a check shove with second pair in that spot? And by you, I mean, Rob, are you calling a check shove?
No.
Yeah, and Bowling Guru says no too. So I think that my note on him is appropriate. Yeah, we're folding this. So I'm calling only because it's this guy.
Okay. So let's see what the big blind has, like next to nothing, so he's insignificant, and when the small blind is this guy that literally still has not played a hand this entire tournament, and he's just blinding off.
Yeah.
So there's no considerations there. What's up, J. Crow?
It depends on how much I've had to drink.
That's a fair point.
Speaking of which, so top pair,
Yep.
back doors, all over the place.
Hmm.
Wow, I could see myself shoving this.
So why? Out of curiosity.
Because he just proved that he can call with second pair with tens. He just proved to me that he could do that. And so I'm going to try and get value from any equity, and I've got a ton of equity against his range.
Jave just switched from your chat to my chat. What's going on here? I bet he's looking at the store. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening.
He's like, how in the world do I get some of those bits?
Well, because he probably has more points on my stream than he has on yours.
Yeah, it could be.
I mean,
could be.
I don't like, when people drop $20 in biddies, I don't only give them 500 points for a bink in the slots. So
yeah, there's no amount of biddies that I can drop in your stream to get points.
That's not true. You get points for every bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and subs and 5x points for being a sub just for watching. Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe I need to make some adjustments.
I think you need to make some adjustments. So
that will not be retroactive for you for what it's worth.
So here's the danger. I guess here's the danger. Like, yes, he's capable of calling with second pair, right? But like, this is where I go back to the range of, like, what range of hands is he calling you with versus what range of hands is he folding versus what ranges, like, where are you ahead and where are you behind here? Like,
so king, queen, king, jack, king 10, I'm really behind, right?
Ace king we can put in his range. Do you think he's wide enough to have king 7 here?
Suited maybe, but probably not offsuit. I don't know.
So
I don't know.
Kings 10 7s are also obviously in his range. The
Right.
most likely hands with a 10 are going to be what?
The most likely hands with 10-9, 10 jack suited.
And we block the 10-9.
Right.
So that makes this a little bit more sketchy. I mean, we'd have to go through the combinations. It'd take more time than we should probably spend here. Thanks, Jave. He says he loves us both. He's the step kid that's like impartial to the parents here. It's equal. It's equal love.
Well, like, okay. I love you too, man. I'm good with you. I like giving you crap, but
so like we'd have to kind of run through the combinations. Like, I feel like it's going to be close where like you're definitely going to get called by worse here, or I mean by better. And like, I think the number of combinations of worse hands that can call you aren't as many as you think they are. Because king 10's not worse. Ace 10 is worse, but he's got equity. Like, you block 10-9. And then like there's going to be some 10s that are like jack 10 of clubs, queen 10 of clubs that are like that are really not very far behind, hardly at all. The other thing you have to keep in mind here is like when you shove, like you've still got this stack in the small blind or the big blind that's going to call, and so there's going to be a side pot. So it's like not just beating Montana Bear, it's beating Montana Bear and strong.
Right.
So like I don't. To me, I feel like this is a flat. Like, there's a lot of cards that can improve our hand.
Well, but the other thing is, like, I can also see, like, in my head, this guy is so aggressive. I'm going to let him keep being aggressive, right? And I'm just going to call. I'm going to let him donk off an enormous amount of chips.
Right.
Right.
And the scary thing too is because it's a pot-sized bet. Like this pot's going to get huge in a hurry, right? So you call here. Right. We're going to be like 26K, like just like that. And if the small blind or the big blind calls, and now we're talking like a 30K pot. He's basically could shove on the turn. So I guess some of it depends on like, it depends on like what hands you're folding and calling on the turn. Because like if you're going to give up too much equity on the turn, like on scare cards, then shoving's probably slightly better. If you're going to be able to stay strong, like when like the 8 of clubs hits, right?
Right.
And you're not going to panic that he hit a flush. Then I think a flat is better here. But I think sometime like just make a note, like go through some of the combinations that you think he would have that beats you, and the combinations you think he would call with that you beat, and just see what that range is. Because if you're jamming here, so it would be 62K in the pot. Well, he can't call the full 62. So see, 30. He's starting with 45. You guys are basically starting with equal stacks here. So yeah, so 62. It's 36 to win 62. He's getting 2-1 odds, right, to call you. Mm-hmm. Plus they're implied odds. So like you're giving him a really sweet spot where like he can literally just call you with the range of hands he crushes. And you're actually making this a profitable lead for him. If it's proportionate enough by jamming. You see what I'm saying?
Right, but what are my options? Right?
Yeah, it's a dicey spot, for sure. And
I mean, you're not folding here.
No. But I think you can flat here and reevaluate, especially based on what sizing he uses, because this is going to put him in an awkward spot. Like you call, he's got 36K, 30K pot, like 36K jam there. Like the overbet shove is very different than like betting 14K into 30K and leaving 22 behind. So you do get some more information. And then you obviously there's some slam dunk cards for us. There's some cards that are better for our range than his range. There's some cards that are better for his range than our range. So on and so forth. So I'd be careful shoving here. I just feel like, I don't think he's calling with a 7 unless it's like, I feel like the only thing he's going to call you with that you beat right here is like a 10 or maybe like Jackson Queens, but there's not going to be very many combos of those. And a fair amount of the 10s are not good for you.
Right. Well, I didn't shove. I just re-raised.
Ooh, now this is a little different. So what are you doing if he shoves?
I'm calling. Okay. I've obviously set it up that I'm calling. Okay. Right? I can't fold here. If he shoves, I'm getting like 4-1.
Right.
Right, or something like that. I just don't have any.
All right. So he does shove. You do call. Well, this is cool. We get to see what he had. Wow, geek.
Sometimes you got to run good.
Yeah. That is running really good. Cool. Well, I'm glad we did that analysis then. That makes me look like KD. Yeah. So I think do the combos, but I think you need to like not. I think you need to just flat there. And then I would also take a note on him that he pop bet the flop with a really strong holding, right?
That's actually a good idea.
In fact, a really strong holding that had scary cards on the turn. And that's where, like, even with notes, you got to be a little bit careful on sample size, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. But I feel like I got him back for the stupid hand he played previously.
It's totally justified. That goes without saying. They were your chips to begin with.
That's right. Thank you for my chips back. If this were a KO, obviously I'm playing here.
Right. LFC says, I think another argument for the flat is because if you're always calling once you raise, then you're saying you can never be bluffing. That's a good point.
Well, when I'm raising half my stack into that pot, I'm saying I'm never folding, right? So, like, given the size of the raise and given the Quark redeemed a sing along. We're gonna have to put that one for later. Quark.
There you go, Quark. I can see this. I can see this stream ending on a high note. No pun intended.
Oh, jeez. Anyway. So my raise there was I'm not folding to you.
Right.
Right.
I think what LFC is saying though is like you're trying to get value from worse, but you're making a bet size that says that the bottom of your range doesn't exist.
Sure, and against another player, that might be a bad thing, right?
Right.
But
You're
I'm
saying
not sure.
he's not paying attention to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, here's a hand that's potential that I folded. I don't know why I folded, actually.
I mean, A6 off, like, I can go either way on that one, for sure. If you're not comfortable playing it post-flop, and it doesn't play well post-flop, so, like, I'm good either way.
Yeah, but this is virtually the button, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
We just haven't. I mean, this guy's obviously played hands, right? He's played 14 of the 58 hands. We just haven't played against him yet.
Right.
I'm not playing that. Oh, maybe hold on a minute. Nope, I didn't. Okay, good. Every so often, I look at a hand that I would have raised like before I tried to tighten my ranges, and I'm like, oh, please, 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 let this be one of the hands that I folded. I know I folded that, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gone through my Sunday Millie run yet, and I think I'm just going to wait until, like, I've changed my play so much that I can just bash my play the entire time.
Yeah,
feel good about it. So I don't have to feel guilty. Like, oh, what were you doing? I mean, now, even it's been a week, and I'm like, 16-12-6, really, Rob? Like, I will never run 16-12-6 in a tournament again. As long as I live.
Well, you might run. So, like, as I understand your strategy, it's to, like, set up the thinking players. And in the bigger buy-in stakes, there's a lot more.
All right, now that I've had a week to do it, here's the thing, right? Like, raise your edge. I mean, one of the things they say is adjust your ranges. The tighter the table is, the more passive the table is, the more aggressive you should be. Early stages of those high-stakes tournaments, I'm noticing that a lot of the regs and even the fishy players are getting down into that, like, 18-8 or 18-12-8 type line. They're all being tighter for the first hour or two. Why? I can't tell you. I don't know if it's because they're playing on backer money or if it's because they're just trying to feel the tables out. But they're all playing tight. So when you come in and you play like 39, 29, 17, you just rake up chips because people are just folding too often.
Right.
I've yet to see anybody adjust to that percentage late in tournaments or whatever. Like, no, just like it's just because the table's too tight early on. So like,
PG says that you were very tight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In the Millie, yeah, for sure. But I mean, part of that was too, like, at that point in time, like, every pay jump was huge for me, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean,
well,
I could go to specifics and be like,
at this point in time, every pay jump was huge for you, right? I mean, nothing changed. Nothing is changed
like,
between then and now, right?
So being transparent, I'm playing on my own dime. I'm sitting on a bankroll of, like, because I pulled some money for, Life Rake and all the fun things. So I'm sitting on a bankroll of like $1,000 at that point, right? And I know I've got some more Life Rake coming out like in 8 days. So like literally like the difference between like $500 and $1,200 is like huge for me. Like I mean that's a big bump to my bankroll. And then it's like 15 and then 21 and then 29. Like every pay jump was like a week of work. So like, I got caught in the trap of like, and it wasn't like I was over folding, but like I was like any marginal spot I just wasn't taking because it's like, well, shoot, 35 is better than 21.
Oh, well, 40, yeah, but I think that's rational, right? Given your Life Rake, there's a certain rationality. It says I got a ladder. I got to get to this ladder, right?
And that ladder opened the door to, another, I mean, you can see the trickle effect that it's worked out. So, yeah, but right. Like in general, the way I played that was way, way, way too tight.
So Jeff Gem says they play tight in the start because there are no antes yet. All the high stakes regs, such as Dutch Boyd, say to play tight until antes come into play to get a feel for how the game will go.
Well, I hope they keep doing that because that is exploitable on a just absurd level right now.
Yeah.
What's up, Shades? Hey, man, anytime. All right, so we get Ace King here.
We open. Why we open big? That's 236 40. We open 3x.
This is even larger than, well, yeah. No, it's like 2.54 is 3x, so this is like
Okay,
2.7.
yeah, yeah.
It looked like a 16. It's an 18. You're good.
Yeah. We get a call from duck staff for whom we have no
So what do you think his flatting range is here from the big blind?
from 9 big blinds.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if he's a thinking player, he could be flatting really, really tight to try and not get me off of a sort of aggressive opening range, right? I don't know. I really don't know what I think his his flatting range is here. But let's say, so probably King X, King Broadways, any Ace Broadway, small pairs, small to medium pairs. No, he shouldn't be doing that. He shouldn't be. I don't know. I really don't.
So really quick, RB Jork says, yeah, but opening tighter ranges pre-ante is taught in the master class by Doug Polk. I find that a little interesting because, like, so Pratush was taught by Ben CB, who runs the Raise Your Edge. Not that it's like a pissing contest or I'm trying to say, like, I won up or anything. But, like, the opening ranges are actually kind of fairly aggressive from Raise Your Edge. We were going through them this morning. And so, like, I don't know, like, I mean, I get it, but, like, even, like, so, like, even the 100 big blind stack raises on a Raise Your Edge, it's, like, 12% from under the gun, 13.9% from, like, UTG1, then it goes, like, 14, 18, 22, 35, like, 46, like, it's looser than I'm finding at the tables, I'll put it that way, right? So, like, I mean, that's fine. They want to play that way. Like, I've got enough sample size now to know that I can be a lot looser than that and just, like, pummel people because they're folding too often. And then when they finally decide to fight back, I just have to wait till I have a hand and stack off on them. So I get it, but I don't know. I don't agree with it, I guess. GTO is not good in tournaments. It's a cash game strategy, right? So as far as this hand, like, I would think that a thinking player should actually defend you fairly wide, unless they're just
with
one
9
of those,
bigs.
unless they're one of those reckless regs that's just going to rip you, because like regs are starting to get onto the fact that, like, and Drew says this a lot, the smaller your stack, the easier you can defend and not make a mistake. Because, like, you're seeing the flop and you know exactly, like, how to play it. It also puts you in the spot for the stop and go. Like, because I see this play, right? So when you raise here and he calls and this flop comes, like, this just, like, obliterates his range. Because, like, a weaker player, he's going to be really capped here, right?
Right.
So this smacks a weaker player's range. A stronger player is both going to have board coverage here that nails this flop, and they're going to have monsters in their hand, like aces and kings and queens.
Yeah.
And everything else if they're trapping. So, like, my inclination here, like, if he checks, I'm fist bumping and checking behind.
He checked. I have a feeling I just put him in, but
I don't think that's horrible. This is cute, and it works. I like it. So,
well, I mean, I put that size. I'm not folding, right? It's a half pot bet. But I'm not folding if he shoves.
Right. Yeah. Yep. So if this looks stronger, then I love the bet sizing on this too. Yeah, that makes sense, or Bjork. I get what you're saying there. He says not too tight, just tighter than when the antes are in play. Though I still love doing it the opposite way at the higher stakes. And Drew says he's had a success even down at the 11s, just playing this, like, 39, 27, 19 style for the first 2 hours. Did you raise the queen jack? Did you fold the queen jack?
I did not. I folded queen jack.
That's probably a fold. I might open from there. It's kind of close. It's UTG.
So plus 2.
You're 50 bigs.
55 bigs. Give me my 5 bigs.
Okay, UTG2. Yeah, Queen Jack off is a fold, but it's like right on the fence. So Fishing Lake wants to know what's a VPIP you suggest, and what do you and Geek have as VPIP? I mean, my VPIP's going to be completely inaccurate because it was like probably around 30 before I got to Drew, and then I like went down to like 20 because I was like learning how to play again, and now it's come back up.
Well, you can see my VPIP.
Yeah, it's 24 here.
A little aggressive. I'd like it to be lower, but I don't have a problem with this. I mean, I don't have a problem with this general VPIP PFR 3-bet range. I think that's okay. So I'd like my VPIP to be a little bit lower and my preflop range to be the gap between those two to be a little bit closer, because it looks to regs like I'm a thinking player, right?
So based on Ben CB, what do you think I'd be color coding you as now?
A tight reg. I think that's what you.
Yeah. 24-19-9's green tag right now, and I say that because I would have been tagging that. I've been tagging that as red up to this point, but after like seeing
green. So let's just be clear on your color coding. Yeah. Red is aggressive. Green is tight.
Red would be like balanced, like solid stats. Green is tight. Orange is aggressive. So like now.
So you don't use the same color coding that Drew uses then?
Yeah, he's similar, isn't he? His orange is his aggro.
So reg orange is a somewhere between so yellow is passive, right, and red is aggressive, right? So orange is passive in the wrong spots and aggressive in the wrong spots, right? He's basically they're both passive and aggressive, but they do it in the wrong places, right?
I thought his orange was like hyper aggressive.
No, that's purple.
I thought his purple was like off the charts aggressive.
Yeah, purple is crazy people.
I probably wasn't listening well enough when he was explaining the orange. I just probably heard him say aggro and I was like, okay. Green is not necessarily push
I'm a
around.
recovering orange tag. I've gone to the orange tag anonymous, and I have orange tag tendency in me, which is, and for me, my leaks before getting coaching was I was passive in the wrong spots and aggressive in the wrong spots. And so he has moved me into, like, his tag on me is red tag.
Right.
Because I've become much more aggressive and much less passive.
Gotcha. RB Orc asks, what training do you recommend? So, like, I'm in Raise Your Edge. It is the apprentice level is like $580 after the promo code. It's not cheap. It's worth every penny, but only if you're going to study at a very high level and put a lot of time in. It's not something that you just casually do. So, like, for high level players, if you're really going to put a lot of time in, then I think it's the top training program that there is out there. If you're like kind of more recreational or you're just getting into the game, then I think there's a lot better options that are more affordable.
And we can't ignore the fact that Bet on Drew, who is a coach to both you and me, is just a fantastic value. I mean, his coaching prices are so inexpensive, and they are. I mean, it's just unbelievable value to get coaching from him.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't be here if I hadn't gone through his stuff. And I keep telling him that Andrew, since he says Andrew's streaming now as his cousin Drew, I keep telling him Andrew needs to raise his prices because they're way too cheap. And I mean, if you compare it to other people of his level of coaching, it's seriously. I mean, he's charging half as much as he could. Thanks, Sir, for Shep. Appreciate it. Hope you still have eardrums.
This was from last night, right?
Yeah, he said, "Congrats on the big scar. Just saw it on YouTube. If you can hear me, you're doing good. So that's awesome."
Yeah. So a little bit of I was railing Rob. I had his table up and I was watching as he was doing things, and he whispers me in chat. He says, "You might want to mute your earplugs or your earphones because it's getting to get loud." I thought it was hilarious. It was very fun.
Yeah, I'm not. Like Drew's one of those guys. I mean, he can get amped when he wins, but he's
so even keeled.
Yeah,
he is so even keeled.
Yep, and I'm very much the passionate one. No, it was not. Well, it's my biggest score post Black Friday. I had bigger scores back before Black Friday, but it's been a long time. So he says he can barely. I can barely. Oh, but I hear you. Yeah. No worries. Just check your eardrums for blood. All right, so we get the Queen 9 here. We're not doing anything.
No, we're not. I'm just yeah, we're not doing anything there. Okay, we're not doing anything there either. Now, let me ask you this. So, like, is this in the raise your edge 3-bet range? I don't think it is.
So so there's a couple things. First of all, like he says, like don't waste your time 3-betting those types of hands against fish because like you don't need to balance your range against fish. There's just no point, right? So you would be 3-betting those types of hands against high-level regs in deep stacked situations where you need to get some bluffs and board coverage in your range.
Right, because in those situations, a reg is more likely to be opening light and is going to fold to a 3-bet.
Right. And when they do get called, you don't want the 3-4-5 flop, and then they just take advantage of the range advantage and pummel you. So I don't in this size tournament I wouldn't even mess with it. Unless it was like, oh, this is, you recognize the guy as a high stake, like, all in Pav is over there, right? And I wouldn't even do it with 3-6. I wouldn't go that loose, but like, like 6-7 suited on the button, all in Pavs raising from like the cutoff. Yeah, man, throw a 3-bet bluff out there with it for sure.
Yeah, so that's why I have this position awareness stat, because like what this reflects is the likelihood that somebody will bet the button compared how much more likely that someone is to bet the button versus under the gun. Right. So it's sort of a quick sort of look at this sort of stat line across the top here. Right.
Got it.
And so I use that stat to like assess whether or not, and that's a stat that you can get a decent read on with a relatively small number of hands, right? 200 hands, 300 hands, you're doing better, right?
Yeah.
So this guy's position awareness of 1 is not so good, right? His 15 and 11 is roughly, he's going to raise honest across all ranges. So,
Gotcha.
So I like to use that, and you can use it because everybody gets there's a lot of buttons. There's a lot of hands to open buttons. So that I use that rather than trying to figure out, okay, overall, is this guy a accomplished player? Is he a thinking player? No, I want to know if he's aware of position. That's all I want. Right. So 9-5 we didn't play. 7-4 I'm sure we didn't play, but let's just verify. Yep. 10-8 we didn't play. Deuce 6 we're not going to play. Queen 6 nope. Deuce 9 nope. King 4 nope. Queen 7 nope. 10-5 nope. Oh, there's a hand we're going to play.
Hello.
We did get a lot of good hands in this tournament.
It's going to happen.
It is.
I got a lot of good hands yesterday.
So, we're 109 hands in. So, we're only a third of the way through this thing, buddy. Do we need to skip ahead?
It's going to go faster.
Hold on a second. No, dear, I am not. I am reviewing my hands with Rob. My wife gets confused by the fact that you have two names, PokerPastor and Rob, and Drew has two names, Drew and John.
Oh,
and so she's
yeah,
like, wait
the
a
Drew
minute.
John thing is a huge thing here. Huge thing here. Because every time I talk to Lost in Poker, he calls him John.
Yeah.
So like for the next 30 minutes after that, I'm calling him John, and my wife's like, "Who is John?"
Yeah, exactly.
John Drew.
Exactly.
Who's Drew?
Yeah.
John. Yeah. So yeah, that's a big thing.
Okay, so we get an open from a player 13-11.
Okay.
My sort of standard against a tight player is that I'm going to 3-bet a tight player and call an aggressive player with strong hands.
Okay.
Because I'm presuming that their tighter range means that they're going to call more often. Although I do look at his fold to c-bet and say he folds to 3-bet a lot. So this is 2.5x 3-bet.
Okay.
And he just folds. That's too bad.
See, we're cruising. Oh yeah. Rob Van Dam.
Ooh. So 55-47 over 36 hands. Even though it's only 36 hands, this is a little insane.
Yeah.
Um,
But his 3-bet's only 13.
well, 13 is a pretty big 3-bet range, right? Well, that's only 1 out of 8, so that's not really a good sample size there, right?
Sure. So I have some thoughts, but I want to see what you do first.
Against a 55-47, my instinct is I should just call. The problem is with this guy behind, I'd rather just play heads up with ace king, because if there's a I'd rather just play heads up. So I'm probably gonna 4-bet is my guess.
To what size?
So if I 4-bet to 40K, I'm basically saying I'm all in, right?
So this is kind of like, remember what I said about the 40 big blind stack?
Mm-hmm.
You're feeling the 40 big blind stack issue here with a 52 big blind stack because the other guy's behind. Like, this is that spot, right? Like, if you 4-bet here, it feels ugly because if you put 40K in and he calls and the flop comes like 9-8 deuce, you just punted half your stack. But shoving 98K off also doesn't feel good, right?
Right.
I don't hate a flat. I think I might actually fold here.
Really?
Well, so
against a 55-47. I mean, I know it's only 36 hands, but he's raised 15 of his 32 hands.
So why do you think he's 3-betting here?
I guess I think he's 3-betting here because he's aggressive.
Okay. So an aggressive player that wants to 3-bet, what's his goal? To do what?
Get folds.
He's getting your folds. So he's got the worst position. He's got an under the gun +1 raise and a cutoff flat. And he's only 3-betting to 15.4K. He's basically giving you guys insane odds to call him out of position.
He doesn't know that.
Well, we don't know if he knows that or not. Like, to me, like, this bet reeks of, like, this bet would scare the crap out of me, honestly. Unless you just are, like, absolutely convinced that, like, he's the worst player on the planet and, like, just started playing poker today. Like, I just don't know that I want to mess with this. Because, like, you put 10K. I mean, we are getting 3-1. You put 10K in. You can see a flop. And I don't think that's awful, like putting 10% of your stack here, seeing a flop, playing it like in position against the 3-better and out of position. But like this is a very, very dangerous spot, right? And you don't have the absolute best position here. Like PLO has the best position. So not only do you have to outplay people's whatever his name is there, like you have to outplay him, but you also have to play PLO8 out of position when he has position on you. And right. when you call here, he just has insane odds to call you with a really, really wide range. And now he can play you out of position. Or like, yeah, you're out of position and he gets to play you. And like, you're going to get owned here. Like when you don't flop an ace or a king, you're going to get owned here so wide that like, I think I really honestly think I like a fold here. And I know it's going to be unpopular, but like it puts you in a really bad spot.
So I am vaguely remembering this hand,
sure.
And I am almost certain that his call had me really, really concerned.
Okay.
Like if he doesn't call, this is an easy call,
completely
right?
different hand.
If he doesn't call, this is an easy call.
Yep.
I don't remember what I did, but I'm struggling to imagine a fold. I don't think a fold is in my range here. I don't think that I've got that.
So BG, why do you think a flop is easy to play? PLO is never folding here, right? So you're gonna have to play ace king 3 ways, Well, all right, but like so now you're putting 15. You're putting 15K in the pot. So you're putting almost what 12% of your stack in, and you're folding 63% of the time. I don't like to play flops where I have to hit them in order to like not for a 3-bet. Like I mean, because the problem is you're not getting paid off enough, right? It's not. This isn't like pocket eights, right? Like is very very different here because if you call a pocket eights and you hit an 8, like you can like your implied odds are really 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 good. Like the flop comes ace 8 deuce, like your implied odds are not that great here, right? Like most of the strong hands are going to shut down. Like you're basically hoping that somebody has a weaker ace and they're going to call you down with it.
Yeah, but you don't need just implied odds, right? The implied odds, like so hitting a set, you need implied odds, right? That matters because you have to be able to play enough sets. You have to set mine based on how many big blinds you're going to get in order to be able to make it profitable, right?
Right.
But I don't need, if I hit an ace or a king here, I don't need implied odds for this hand to be profitable, right? Taking it down is fine.
But like, okay, so like, I mean, I guess like, so what are you doing when the flop comes like king, queen, 8?
Feeling pretty good. Not great, but pretty good.
like if you call here and PLO calls and the flop comes king, queen, 8 or like king, queen, 9, like not only is that a scary flop, but like now it's a scary flop and you're out of position on a guy that has you stacked.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, I just like even like I don't even think there's fist pump like or a hand like ace queen 8, right? Like same thing. Like there's I don't know. Like I'd be curious to see what Drew says about this.
I already have this marked as a review hand.
Nice. Well, we could see how it plays out here. I mean, I think we know what all the different options are, and none of them are awesome, right?
So I did just flat.
Okay.
And so did Plo.
So good. We'll get to see this in real time. All right. So that's I mean that's one of the better flops you can have here. Obviously, we blocked the nut flush draw, top pair, top kicker. We're
worried about jacks.
We're not really worried about threes. We're worried about jacks, king, jack, and then hands like queen 10 of diamonds.
Yeah, but is he? Well, I mean, maybe he is 3-betting king jack, right? I mean, do you think that king jack is a 3-betting hand, even for someone with a 13%? 55, 47,
Well,
13.
put it this way: if you don't think he's 3-betting king jack there, then you should be very scared of his 3-bet range. That goes back to that bet sizing is scary as all get out. So I think you have to put king jack in his range if you're calling here.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
So let's see what happens. All right.
I think I'm going to rip this. I think what's going to end up happening is I rip this.
Okay.
And I'm now remembering this hand.
Okay. Good. I mean, when you get to this point, you better get it in. Yeah. Good deal. Good deal. So
how many? 163K.
I mean, this doesn't like necessarily tell it. Like I could see him doing this with queens. We're putting king jack in a 3-bet. Should we just plow it all in pre? No, because it's a range. Like that's a one specific hand in his range. And because you've got a guy behind you that could be trapping. Like this hand plays very different heads up, buck chowder. But like 3 ways, like you can't just be like, oh, he's 3-betting king jack. We're just gonna go all in for 52 big blinds. Like and then you get owned by like pocket kings, pocket aces, which I know aren't likely, but they're out there. Like you just give PLO insane odds to just destroy you. So no, I don't think you can just rip with PLO in the hand. Cool. I like the flat.
No,
it's not
so let's say that PLO isn't in the hand. Let's say that he doesn't flat pre, and we get this 3-bet from the small blind.
That's a very different 3-bet, right? Because like even a recreational player like knows that bet's never getting folded into 2 people.
Right.
Into one person, like it's just a different 3-bet. So yeah, I think you can 4-bet there with the ace kings. And the other thing is with the pot size, now you're 4-betting smaller, so it's not that awkward spot. So like he goes to what was it, 15K?
Yeah, 15.4.
Like
Whoops.
you can go to like 35, like 35K, and you still got 60K behind. It's not that awkward spot, right? Like, in fact, you could, even if you wanted to, 4-bet fold. I wouldn't recommend it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you could 4-bet fold there with that stack size. So it's very, very different.
Yep.
I don't mind the flat. I just like that.